Welcome to the last devlog that I'll probably be doing for this project because I'm pretty much done with it. Um, I'm making this on the morning of New Year's Day, and my mouth is a bit dry. Just one moment. Um, and I haven't rewatched the past devlog, but I'm pretty sure at that point I had 12 animatronics, and there was only three left to make, and I've made them. So, I'll quickly explain them. They're in this room, all hidden away in the safe room. But the last three animatronics I implemented is Shadow, um, Shadow Bonnie, Shadow Freddy, and Fredbear. So Fredbear is just using the name Fredbear instead of Golden Freddy. Basically, so I'll give a quick rundown. Shadow Bonnie, he just appears. He randomly will just sort of black out your office. Um, and it will only do that for one cycle, so 5 seconds or 4 seconds or whatever, depending on your music box. So he's simple. He shouldn't be a huge problem. You just have to guess whether or not, like, um, Foxy, for example, is in the hallway. If it happens at the same time as Fredbear, then it's a bit more problematic. But yeah, so Fredbear, I'll explain him as well. He also will randomly appear in your office. He randomly enters he randomly moves, and once he does, he enters all three of these nodes, or specifically each of these nodes that is not currently already occupied with another animatronic. All right. So actually, uh, I've gone ahead and done this. Obviously, there's up to 3 stars you can get. Let's explain this. So now, when you start off, you only get access to the normal night. Then you get a star if you beat it, access the hard night. Beat the hard night, you get a second star, and you can access the custom night. Now I cheated to do this um, by not actually playing. Hold on. I just realized that I need to change one thing. Here we go. But basically, we've now got actual nights, and they have AI that increases over time. It hasn't really been tested for it necessarily being easy, which is not necessarily supposed to be easy, but hopefully it's possible. And then there's the custom night where you can do all of this. I can actually go in here and just max out Fredbear's AI, though he takes a while to appear anyway, because even then he might not appear. Like, he'll take some time. So I guess I won't show that. But he goes into all three of these nodes, or he goes into each of the office nodes that are not currently occupied by one of the toy animatronics. When he's there, you need to flash him, and then you pull up your camera, and he goes away. Oh, right. He'll appear when you pull your camera down. He'll go away if you flashed him and you pull your camera up. If you flash him for a second or longer, then he'll jump scare you, so he ends your night. And if you just let him sit there for 2 cycles, so like 10 seconds, then he'll just jump scare you and end your night. Just to prevent some stalling stuff, because while he's in those nodes, toy animatronics can't go there. So if you stall forever, if he doesn't kill you eventually, you might be able to cheese the game, which I don't want. The last guy was well, Fredbear was the last one I made, but Shadow Freddy is who I'm explaining last. He randomly comes into this room, the backstage. I think he might be the most impactful animatronic because I sort of based him off of a bit of his behavior in the original game. Like, you notice that with the other two, they're also based on some of their behavior in the original game. Like, Shadow Bonnie is based off of Ultimate Custom Night, and Fredbear is sort of just like an extension almost of the original. He's done a little bit differently. Shadow Freddy didn't have any behavior, but what he did was appear randomly as an Easter egg in the backstage or in parts and service when there were no withered animatronics already there. So I took that and I thought, oh, what if he goes there and he kicks all of them out and doesn't let them come back until he's gone? So that's what he does. And if you know anything about the wizard animatronics, they're very quick to kill you because they are half of the lethal cast, right? Shadow Freddy doesn't directly kill you. All you need to do is flash him like for an instant on the camera and he'll go away. But he might get you killed a lot because if all of these guys become active, it means you're like 10 seconds away from dying. In the worst case scenario, it might be longer. Obviously, you need to look for all of them as quickly as possible after you notice this guy, flash him away. You can see, like, this guy might be a little bit too problematic, but hopefully it's fine. Okay, so those are the animatronics. Pretty sure that's all of them explained now. Obviously, I've removed the roof from the restaurant just to show that off, but I'll put it back on now. But yeah, so obviously I did explain this already, just increasing night. So the normal night, it increases in AI difficulty over time and introduces some animatronics. Only the original 11 animatronics from the first game, so that's the 10 from the custom night, plus the puppet who didn't have an AI value you could change in FNAF 2. They all appear eventually in the first night, though I don't know if they'll necessarily actually appear. They might just uh, not have an AI value high enough, or maybe they'll all appear and all be a nuisance. Hard Night essentially just continues from where the first night left off, uses literally the same values as the end of the first night, the normal night, and then it will increment from there, and starting at 3 a.m., it adds in the remaining four animatronics that were originally just Easter eggs in FNAF 2, but are now actual animatronics. So that would be JJ, the Shadows, and Endo O2. And then if you beat that, you get the custom night. If you want, you can attempt to beat uh, 1520 mode, the max mode. If you do, you get the third star. Obviously, I cheated to get this third star I was just confirming to make sure it worked. Um, the night was like a fraction of a second long, and boom. Another thing I did was I actually added an end screen. So if you give me a moment while I actually change this back to being a fraction of a second long. This, isn't that nice? Um, Pretty much all of the audio for the game I got off of Pixabay. I don't have a credits scene, and I'm not going to work on the game anymore. So, uh, yeah, I don't. They don't need. I read their license. They don't need me to mention that. It's just appreciated, so I mention it here. um, they got some decent audio. That grandfather clock one is like spliced a little bit, just because it was the original one was too long. Even that one's a bit too long. But yeah. Audio, I'm terrible with audio. I'm going to add a audio warning on the itch page because uh, there's a very good chance that it's too loud and I wouldn't know because yeah, like one of my lecturers at AIE basically told everyone, hey, if you're not experienced with audio, it's like try and be very wary about it because you can blow out someone's eardrums. And yeah, so I realize I haven't made that warning anywhere, and I'm not experienced with audio and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I just sort of reduced the play volume of all of the audio in the game by a bit, and hopefully with the warning as well, people will be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, is that? I think that's pretty much what I wanted to go over. Yeah, the game remembers when you've completed nights. Uh, The game is basically done. Has a bit of audio. Visually, hasn't really changed that much. I had some ideas, but I didn't have the time because yesterday was my deadline. because I wanted to move on to the next thing. So yeah, thank you for watching the last terrible, terrible devlog. And I hope you guys have a happy new year.